Hello again, fellow lights and light travelers. So for this reading, I wanted to look at the energies, not just on a personal level, but for the country and kind of like the world right now for the month of June. So this is going to be energies as they currently stand and how things possibly can play out for the month of June. There's a lot of strong energy that comes in, but a lot of reassurance from the universe that everything is going to be okay and that everyone is being divinely guided and protected through this. So I hope you enjoy the reading. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you all next week. Hello, fellow lights and light travelers. Welcome again to Light Journeys Tarot. I appreciate your time and energy being here to connect. Today I wanted to bring through and connect about the energies coming through for the countries, and maybe even the world, for the month of June. We'll see what Spirit wants to bring forth. As always, I've gone ahead and set everything up. I've lit my candles. I've invited in my guides. My messages are connected for the highest good of all. As I like to say, take what resonates, leave the rest, right? And with whatever comes through, know that you have free will. So there's nothing set in stone. There's nothing that is, this is going to happen and this is how it has to be because this is how it was read, right? Energies as they stand will come through, but you have the power to affect your own life, how things go. You are the ultimate source of power, and you are ultimately connected because you are divine. You are connected to source. You are connected to all, and you are of that ultimate vibration of love. So always, 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 I like to say that you have the ultimate power, and to lead forth and lead with your light from your heart moving forward. But with that being said, I always like to do my caveats up front. Let's go ahead and get into it and see what's coming through for the month of June. Let's get into it. Right, Spirit, what wants to come forth? What energies are coming through for the month of June in this country and globally? What's coming through for the month of June? Okay, feeling the stop. We've got the Seven of Swords. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, very interesting. And we've got the Tower. All right, some interesting things coming through. Let's get into it. So the first energies that we have, or maybe the energies that have been living, are one of deception. So this card often is deception. What I was first drawn to and what came into my mind immediately upon watching this is a thief. So there is the energies of someone who has, or some things, or some organizations, or some, however you want to frame it, right? That have been trying to get away with deception, but also, like the phrase thief in the night comes through, right? What's interesting is the fact that they're on the rooftops, right? This isn't like somebody sneaking through the back ways and alleyways. It feels like they feel like they are above everyone else. They feel like they're above them, and they feel like almost like, I can do this out in the open. This is something that I can get away with, and no one's going to catch me. They are trying to have some, with the night sky, right? They are trying to have some cloak, some hiddenness to this. But if you notice, even within the night sky, right, the moon is there to reveal. The stars are there to shed light. So in spite of this deception that's happening, there is still light coming through. There's still revealing happening. So even though they think that this is something they can get away with, don't be so sure. Also, it looks like their step, even though they're trying to make a step, feels like it can be unsure. They could step into something and miss. What I'm also drawn to is the fact that some of these swords are falling behind. So things that they think they are getting away with, they are losing track of, they are not having full control of. And also what sticks out to me is this bag has holes. So the things that they are trying to be deceptive about and get away with, it's cutting through the fabric, the falsities, the shroud of deception that's trying to keep things cloaked and hidden. Things are coming to the surface. Things are starting to fall out. Things are starting to come through. So in spite of, oh, I think I can get away with this, their footing is uncertain, and there are things that are falling out and coming true and being revealed. So they are not, it does not feel good that, or it doesn't bode in their favor. Let me put it that way. It does not bode in their favor that they are going to be able to hide these things much longer. It feels like things are starting to be revealed and come out and be left behind, and they're not going to get away with everything. Like, unfortunately, like, they are less clever than they think they are. Let's put it that way. Interesting. Let me move this over. All right. The Wheel of Fortune is about cycles, and it's about change, right? Things in this world, right? You can look at it with the seasons, always have cycles of changing, right? Even if you take it on a humanistic level, right? There's birth, there's different levels of puberty as you grow, then there's seasons of being a young human being, let's leave it genderless, whatever you may be. And then into old age, and then of course death. And then, it's a cycle that repeats, right? Every day people are, going through that cycle, beginning that cycle, ending that cycle, transitioning through whatever it may be. The cycle, the cyclical, the wheel, the change, that's something that's always in motion. The thief may have had or felt that they've had their time, but the cycles are changing. The cycles are turning. The wheels are turning. Things are changing. Let's see. So I'm going to start with where I was first drawn. The first thing that drew my eye were the people at the bottom. This feels like the everyday people, and they are connecting with one another. So there's families, there's young, there's middle-aged, there's probably old, although I don't see really old here, but I do see a lot of younger children, men, women, connecting to each other. This feels like this could be going back to simpler ways of exchange, right? This doesn't feel like it's the vibe from this particular card, right? I always go with the decks because I'm drawn to use the deck, or I happen to use the deck. There's a message that wants to come through. This feels like a little pop-up shop, right? So it feels like what's coming through is as the cycle changes of maybe some bigger entities that have been dominating and controlling things and stealing things and hiding things. This feels like the cycle is changing, and it's turning into, the daylight is lifting, and this is turning into, back to the community-based. I've created a product and I'm coming to see what product you have. I don't know if you can see that or if it's too far. People connecting once again, right? Like you're being kind, gentlemanly, gingerly to one another. Let's see. What else pulls me in here? I was drawn next to the balloons. This feels like a message of hope, a message coming in. It could be things that we are going to see in the skies. There could be things flying in the skies that we are aware of, but this feels to me also mostly like a message of hope, something coming in, something flying in. This doesn't necessarily need to be a physical thing, right? Doesn't mean you physically have to see something. It could be news being delivered swiftly, coming in through the air, right? So air is a lot with thoughts, with words, with communication. So something is going to be communicated that brings hope and also celebration. So, right, this is, for me, it looks like a whole bunch of balloons and excitement, right? You think of a party, you think of, like, for me, what came into it was like a birthday party, right? This is something is being brought in a celebratory fashion that's bringing in news, that's going to bring in hope, right? That's going to bring in almost like peace. Like the white is where I'm drawing the peace from. So it feels like a message is coming in. Some type of celebratory message is going to come in that's going to bring in peace as well. So the cycles are changing, and there are good messages that are going to fly into. First, there may be like a singular message, but then there's going to be a whole bunch. So there may be one message that comes in, but then there's going to be a flood of like da 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 da. So it feels like within this month there is going to be a flood of hopeful messages. And it seems like here could be like, okay, we heard something, we're not sure, there's a little message coming in, it feels hopeful, it's coming in, it's flying in. This feels more like a casual, is that what we think it is? And then there's a whole bunch of celebration and hope coming in, and it's going to be a flood of information that flies in, that's coming within this thing. That's going to be part of this cycle changing. It's going to be part of this changing wheel that's going to be taking place this month. Very interesting, very exciting month. So the Tower is change. And this feels like when I'm seeing, you're going to get a message here. And I feel like this is all changing away from this entity, these beings, these people, this whatever you want, whatever this energy is here. The message that starts coming in that we're like, did we hear what we think we heard? And then this celebration of like, like all this messaging is going to bring about sudden change. There is going to be change, and it's going to be big, and it's going to be sudden, right? Two things here. Immediately, a lightning strike. This is going to strike like lightning. This is going to be boom, it happened. This is going to be boom, it happened. And you hear the thunder and you see the lightning. This is going to be loud. This is going to be impactful. And this is going to cause structures, right? I don't want to say like an actual house is going to fall. I that's not what I mean. I mean like metaphorical, idealistic things that we call structures are going to shift. Like this is going to cause whatever messaging is going to come in around this entity, people, person, whatever message is going to happen, and then sudden messages are going to come in that are hopeful and celebratory and wow, I can't believe this is happening, is going to also, right, in tandem with, cause a lot of sudden, impactful change. Two things. One, I'm seeing the cat observing. I feel like in this, it feels like it is not going to be so horrifically impactful or even horrific in some people's eyes and some beings' eyes, okay? For some, for the structure or the power in which I feel are associated with this, there will be upheaval. And perhaps, right, with the Tower, that collapse may look overwhelming to the layperson on the outside. But in heeding the cycles of change, if you become an observer, like that little cat right there that I keep pointing at, right? This little cat. If you are an observer and notice that you have steady footing, notice that everything's going to be okay. Notice that this already looked rickety as heck. And, you know, it already looked like a crazy house situated on a hill that looked like it was going to be falling anyways. Trust that what is happening was meant to happen, because this structure could no longer serve. This structure, this thing, whatever this energy is, was not meant to stay. It was meant to be broken down. This was meant to clear the way for whatever there is that may be coming. But what feels like it is coming, feels like it is hopeful, and feels like it is celebratory. So this is very interesting. And you know what? I'm not going to leave it as vague as this. I'm going to pull just a little bit more to see if, and I don't normally, sometimes I get enough with this, but since this is like big energy, and we've got two major arcana here happening, I'm going to pull and get a little clarity on the Tower. Let's see. Okay, Spirit, can you provide a little more clarity on this Tower moment? Can you provide a little bit more clarity on the Tower moment, please? Okay, let's pull three. The Eight of Wands. So again, we've got that messenger energy coming in, and here's our little cat friend. We've got the Empress, interesting, and we've got the Nine of Wands. All right. Okay, so again, right, we wanted clarity on the Tower. And the first thing that we have, right, is energy and quick movement. There is something coming in quickly, swiftly, fast. And I felt like, right, we had that energy coming through with the lightning, right? So I felt whatever this is going to be boom. Like, I am so drawn to the lightning in the card because I feel like it's crack. Like, whoa, like this is going to be... And I don't want anybody to be alarmist, right? That doesn't necessarily mean just because something is loud and sudden that it necessarily needs to be scary, right? But whatever it is coming in. And you know what? I see her smiling. I don't feel like whatever's going to happen quickly and suddenly is going to be something that necessarily is a scary energy. This feels like news. Like I kept, you know, that's what that felt like. But this feels like celebratory news. So this upheaval is going to bring in this news, and it's going to bring it in quickly. This could, I almost want to say, like, you know, this normally is a letter, right? Like back in the day, that was a letter. From what's coming into my head is like email, social media, whatever it is going to spread quickly and come in quickly and come in suddenly. This news will be delivered, and it's going to be delivered fast. And again, with that little cat, I feel like the people that it's going to be delivered to, like, don't worry, you're on steady ground. Like, this is not news that is going to hurt you. This is news about something, right? Something outside of you, something else that is going to be quick, impactful, sudden, that's coming in. But, you know, to know that you're fine. Like, you are receiving the message, but you are not being, this is not like it's happening to you, right? We're looking at the countries, whatever it's happening, will be sudden, fast, and you will hear the news quickly. All right. The Empress is about receiving love, nurturing, caring. I feel that as this message comes in with this Tower moment, we are being gently reminded that we are being cared for, that there's an overarching maternal, nurturing, universal energy. And I'm getting universe because I'm drawn to her crown and the stars in the sky. There is something higher at play here. And in this tower moment that will be sudden and bring in energy, these messages that feel celebratory and hopeful, that we are all being cared for and watched and protected through. I see a lot of the green right here. This interweaving is this love energy. This is being woven from the universe into us. It feels like an entanglement. It feels like there is going to be communication. This blue, it feels like there is going to be an abundance that comes in. There may be with this what looks like gravestone with this death of whatever that is. There will be rebirth. There will be a turning of the cycle. There will be new life. There will be like fruition is coming in, like growth. There is, I'm just letting it come to me. There is like, I want to say harvest, but it's like, you know, it just feels like when a farmer has planted and all the crops have then thus grown, right? This whole picture of these fields being abundant, right? With whatever cycle is changing, there's a nurture and a love coming in, and then a new bounty, like a new bountiful energy. It almost feels like there is enough for all. There will be bountiful food for all. There will be bountiful harvest for all. So with whatever energies are coming through, it feels like this is going to bring about greener pastures. It's going to bring about nurturing and love and protection, divine protection, universal protection for the all, so that it brings in this new abundance is what this is feeling. So let's see. And whatever this is being guided and nurtured by this. So again, I feel like when I said before, it didn't feel like something to be worried about. Like this feels like a loving, nurturing, caring energy. So it feels like, again, spirit's coming through with a, don't worry, you are loved, everything's fine. This is all a cycle and part of a plan, right? So with this message, just breathe, relax, trust that everything's going to be okay. With the Nine of Wands, there is an energy of this persistence, right? This is someone who, or something, or some being, right, whatever's represented here, that is standing, what's the word that I want to look for it? Standing tall after a long, hard struggle, okay? So whatever this energy is, there is going to be control that is still maintained in spite of. So things are going to break down, but and the messaging will come in quickly, but there is a nurturing, loving energy that is guiding all, and that whatever happens is not going to be so catastrophic that then thus everything goes into chaos. Like this is not that. There will not be, things are breaking down that no longer serve, being removed suddenly. There is something happening here, but it's not going to cause chaos. Like it feels like, I want to say people will still be standing. Like it's going to be okay, to trust that it's going to be okay. Let's see if anything else comes through with this. I'm just hearing fortitude. So maybe that's also a gentle invitation from Spirit to stand firm and to trust that outside of this that will be falling suddenly, you are firm, you are grounded, it's going to be okay. So trust that you've been through a lot and you've worked through a lot and you've gone through a lot. So this happening may seem sudden and quickly and whatever, but it's going to be okay and you're going to be on firm grounding. And like I said, this feels like whatever energy is coming in feels like it's going to be one thing and then suddenly a lot of things, but it feels like celebratory. It feels good. It feels like the news will be happy. So just trust that although it seems chaotic and it's this and it's that and it feels like a lot's going on, you're okay. You're grounded. It's almost all over. You're towards the end of this. Like this whole cycle has almost completed in its passing of how it's going through. So that's what Spirit gave us to clarify the Tower. All right, let's put this over here. And then I'm going to kind of put this on here, so that we've got that. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards to see what else Spirit would like to bring through with this message. Okay, the first oracle deck I was drawn to is the Divine Masters. Let's go ahead and see what messages want to come through with this. All right, Spirit, what message would like to come through for this reading for this month of June? For what we've been reading on, what message would like to come through with this deck? What message, what else would like to come through here, Spirit? What else would like to come through? Okay, I'm going to trust the stop. Let's see. The green Tara. Healing light. Wellness unfolding. Know that healing is a journey. Interesting. All right. This kind of even looks like her. So immediately I'm noticing that this card, let me put this down. This card almost looks like this Empress energy. If you look at her too, right? We had that green flowing up. We've got a lot of blues and we've got like a similar, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have this in view. We have a similar like universal crown that's coming in. So this feels like this green Tara is coming in with this Empress energy. So let's go ahead because this feels like, like, oh my gosh, it's almost like the same card. Thank you, Spirit, for this. Let's go ahead and read what this card says, but it feels like almost it's reinforcing this Empress energy, feels like. Let me put this like this, and let's read. All right, so this says, Green Tara, healing light, wellness unfolding, know that healing is a journey. The story goes that Tara, whose name means star, is an aspect of, Avalokiteshvara. I hope I said that correct. I apologize if I did not. The deity of compassion, who, looking at the earth, cried tears over all those experiencing challenges and pain. All right, okay. His tears of compassion. Oh, okay. Sorry if I misgendered. Okay, his tears of compassion became a great river, from which rose a lotus, and from that lotus Tara was born. Okay, so she is a she. Okay, so I didn't misgender. Cool. Okay. She has many forms in different colors, and green Tara brings a light of protection and safety with her. So there we go, right? I felt like there was a nurturing. I felt like there was a universal protection. This is going in, and this is this feels like Spirit is reinforcing, right? Reinforcing this energy of this Empress. There is protection in this, okay? There's love and there's universal guidance. This looks like the exact same character. I love it when Spirit is just like boom on the nose. Like, oh, okay, you're reading with this deck today? Okay, well then you're going to pull from this deck and it's going to look the exact same. Like, I'm sorry, just moments like that just give you chills. Like, thank you, Spirit. Okay, so Green Tara is one of the most loved and respected female deities in many Buddhist traditions and is well regarded by many spiritual practitioners across the world. Born of pure compassion, she is there to assist all those moving from suffering to wholeness. It feels like This energy is coming through because of maybe the suffering and the hurt that this has caused. And in this change and this sudden thing that is going to take place this month, right? That will be coming in swiftly, that will be actually bringing in good news. It still may feel sudden and impactful and chaotic, but we have this nurturing, protecting, universal energy that's coming through that is protecting everybody who's been suffering. So this is a reinforcement of that. Like, know that all is protected, all is loved. It's going to be okay. We'll go ahead and read this. The blessings of Tara are surrounding you now, and you are being guided to know that healing isn't linear, but more like a spiral. Oh, that's so interesting, because I saw the heart going up and it was like entanglement. So that maybe that's a spiral. When you set the intention to heal, the intention itself initiates a pathway that is similar to a spiral. The Fibonacci, right? The Fibonacci spirals, right? There you go. At times, you will feel like you are overflowing with vitality, and at others, you're going to feel drained. There may even be moments when you feel that you are revisiting something you thought that you had overcome. But this revisiting is actually an opportunity to see how far you have come to the road of recovery and wholeness. So I want to stop there. As above, so below, as within, so without. I feel like, and I keep saying, and it keeps coming through very strongly for me, a lot of us are all on healing journeys. And I feel like that inner work is also being reflected on an outer scale, right? So we were looking at major energies happening in this country and around the world right now. In some pockets, right, there may have been a shock to, wow, why is this happening? We thought we were so much better. This was so much better. This was so much better than it was. This exposure of things feels like there is a reveal to the deeper seated things that still needed to be surfaced and healed on a global scale as well as a personal scale. So as people step into that frequency of healing, that stuff comes up on a bigger scale as well, because it's meant to surface to then be looked at and healed. And in that journey, in that pathway, in that cycle that's taking place, right? The universe is like, you all are strong enough that this can come up now, and it can be revealed, and it can be learned from, and it can be transmuted, okay? You know, like they say, the universe doesn't give you anything you can't handle, okay? There is a strength and a comfort and a truth. And you are not in this alone. We are not in this alone. We have divine powers here, okay? And also we ourselves are powerful and divine and entangled. We are together working on this together, okay? Right now, the spiritual energies that surround you are creating space, pathways, and doorways for you to move closer to the truth that you are whole, healed, and complete. And know that if things come up and be like, I thought, the universe will always bring it back up so that you can continue to reinforce, to build that muscle of healing. Of this is how I deal when something like this happens, okay? Like, you burned yourself, okay? Then you learn the lesson to not continue to do it. So then how you react, right? Like, it's going to keep going, okay? You sure you got the lesson? You've got this, okay? Now that you've got this, how do you then thus now react to this? How do you then thus now move forward when something like this happens? How do you then thus continue to carry that healed energy forward, okay? Don't let fears or limitations get between you and the miracles that you have experienced and the miracles that are yet to happen. This is a journey to fearlessness and liberation, and you are closer to freedom than ever. Take the next step, right? You are grounded, but you are almost, this cycle that is happening at a global scale and also on a personal scale like we're almost there. Like, it's almost there, and something's going to come in this month that is big. Something that is big. So thank you, Spirit, for that. Let's go ahead and grab the next oracle deck, Guides of the Hidden Realms, and see what wants to come forth from this. All right, Spirit, what else would you like to say to finish out this reading? What else would like to come through to finish out today's reading for the month of June? What else would like to come through, Spirit, to finish out this reading as the overarching energies and what's happening, what events are going to take place in this month of June? I'm going to trust the sovereignty of magic, synchronistic miracles, and spiritual forces. All right, let's see. You know what's interesting? Stop it. Like, you're kidding me right now. Stop. Synchronicities. Stop it. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see this? The star's tiara, what looked like the star tiara, almost the exact same, looks like a star tiara. That's crazy. Talking about synchronicities and spiritual forces and spirals. Stop it. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's like, I'm going to hem this home. You're going to hear this message. You're going to know you're protected. You need to know that the universe is with you. Alrighty, let's read this card. Wow. You're like, you want extra information? I'll give you extra information. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so as this was upright, we're not going to read this reversed. We're only going to read this, okay? Key concepts: universal laws, synchronicities, life-changing events, miracles, and awareness of spiritual forces. An invisible power operates in every aspect of our lives. The truth is woven through the cosmos. Magic is the metaphysical realm, always sovereign in the material. When we remember our inherent connection to the divine and engage our intuition and our partnership with the universe, we awaken to messages and miracles around us. Again, that came through was the entanglement, the quantum entanglement. I felt it came out because it's meant to be said. It is trying to come through to us. We are entangled with the divine. We are divine. There is more at play here, okay? Symbols and synchronicities serve us as a reminder that the universe is always listening and engaging us. This is your sign, the answer you have been waiting for. The invisible world is creating necessary shifts, okay? There's that tower moment, so that the outer world will reflect the intentions that you've set in motion. If you are in that healing space, the world is going to start healing with you. And it feels like a lot of people are in that space and are trying to bring through that transmutation of what no longer serves, right? So thus it is being reflected as such. And there's something that's going to take place that's going to cause a major shift towards the end of a cycle of this. This energy is coming to a close. This is your sign, the answer you've been waiting for. The invisible world is creating necessary shifts so the outer world will reflect the intentions you've set in motion. Pay attention to those feelings of inexplicable connection and uncanny knowing. The music of destiny is calling your name, and surprising opportunities are aligning for your highest good. No matter the challenges, step forward. Didn't the other one say step forward? Okay, universe, we hear you. Trust that your abundance is assured and prepare to be amazed. There's that good news coming in. Prepare to be amazed. So there are major shift energies coming in. There's major news coming forth, but boom, 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 boom. This is divinely protected. This is divinely guided. And this is divinely guided and protected on a major level, as well as a personal, internal level. You are grounded. You are okay. You are going to stand firm through this and turn into this new cycle that is away from these energies, as these energies are falling, and there will be major news coming in and coming in quickly. So get ready for June, because there's some exciting things in store. Trust, trust, trust that everything's going to be okay. All right. This was a big reading. Let's get excited for June. Let's stay grounded. we've got this. Thanks again. Bye.